Now let's start the session. Okay, we all know that we are here for Palo Alto Firewall training. So first of all, we will discuss here that what we will cover or what we will learn in this entire training. So you can go to I-MEDITA website and there you need to go to live training, go to Palo Alto, then select Palo Alto Firewall. This URL will give you an idea that what we will cover in this entire training. This is our content, Palo Alto Firewall, course detail objectives. First of all, in this entire training, this will be our content which we will cover. Let's start. What is this? So first of all, we will go with security platform and architecture. In this section, we will learn what is firewall and how many firewall techniques available in the market. We will discuss about them like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, and transparent firewall as well as next generation firewall. After firewall introduction, we will go to Palo Alto firewall introduction. Here we will learn about some history of Palo Alto, that who established this company and his background in IT. Then we will discuss what are the features provided by Palo Alto, some other stuff as well. After firewall introduction and Palo Alto introduction, we will go to initial configuration. Here we will learn how to set up lab, like how you, here in this section I will tell you how you can make your own lab at your laptop or desktop. Required resources will be shared by us. You just need to follow the step, then you can build your lab, as well as I'll also tell you that how you can make your lab. After lab, we will learn Palo Alto basics, like how to access Palo Alto firewall, how to configure host name, domain name, banner, DNS server, NTP server, how to do configuration, IP addressing on firewall interface, how to take backup of configuration, how to r- configure firewall with factory default configuration, how to recover admin password, as well as how to update the firewall. These labs we will done or we will complete in firewall basics. This training will be covered in two ways. First, GUI. First of all, we will do the stuff with GUI interface. After that, we will learn the things with CLI. In initial configuration, we will also learn how to implement zone. Palo Alto Firewall is a zone-based firewall, so zone implementation will be done in every lab or every task. After basics, we will learn static routing, default routing, and path monitoring. Just like another firewalls, Palo Alto Firewall supports static routing, default routing. Now question is this, what is this path monitoring? I hope you have worked on Cisco routers. On Cisco routers, we create a feature or we implement a feature called SLA, Service Level Agreement. On Palo Alto, SLA feature is called path monitoring. And with the help of SLA or path monitoring, we can check the reachability with next hop or beyond next hop IP address so that we can utilize the link in better way. After static routing, default routing, and path monitoring, we will move to advanced routing like RIP implementation and troubleshooting. Then we will move toward OSPF implementation and troubleshooting. Then we will learn here BGP implementation and troubleshooting. Till here, you will learn IPv4 routing, static, dynamic, and default. On Palo Alto, only RIP, OSPF, and BGP is supported, so we will learn about them. Then next we will move toward IPv6 routing like static, default and path monitoring, OSPF v3 implementation troubleshooting, MPBGP implementation and troubleshooting. Till here you will learn basics and routing on Palo Alto Firewall. After routing, we will move to next section, which is security and net policies. Here we will learn what is net, what is the requirement of nets, types of net available on Palo Alto, theoretical plus practical, practical of theory and practical of static net, dynamic net, PAT, destination net, and UNet. So we will do theory and practical about network address translation. Here we will also learn about Palo Alto Firewall packet flow. After completing network address translation, we will move to site VPN, which is actually IPsec VPN. First of all, we will do the theory of IPsec VPN. Then we will do practical of site-to-site VPN with IK version 1 and IK version 2. Then we will learn how to configure static route site-to-site VPN with dynamic routing, with certificate authentication. And when we will implement the VPN, definitely we will do the mistakes. And now in VPN troubleshooting, we will learn how to solve those problems. So till here, you will learn site-to-site implementation on Palo Alto. But in industry, it is not necessary that always you will deploy site-to-site VPN only with Palo Alto to Palo Alto. That's why we have also added here different vendors devices, like you will learn site to site VPN, Palo Alto to Cisco router, Palo Alto to Cisco ASA, Palo Alto to FortiGate firewall, Palo Alto to Checkpoint firewall, Palo Alto to Juniper firewall, Palo Alto to Cisco FTD. And okay, so we have added most of the vendors devices which are in market. And we will also learn here that how to configure site-to-site VPN between overlapping subnets. Overlapping subnet means assume we have two branches. In two branches, we have same network. Now we have to make it possible both branches should be able to communicate each other without changing the network. So we can do that with the help of site-to-site VPN with overlapping subnets. So in site-to-site VPN, you will not only learn on Palo Alto as well as with other vendors devices. Next is here SSL VPN. So Palo Alto do the marketing of SSL VPN with the name of GlobalProtect. So GlobalProtect is actually SSL VPN. Here we will learn what is SSL VPN, and we will learn how to implement SSL VPN or GlobalProtect VPN with full tunnel mode, with split tunnel mode, with split tunnel with public IP, as well as with site-to-site VPN integration. Next, we have here section of interface configuration, and here feature name is vWire, virtual wire. What is virtual wire? Uh, Firewall can be deployed all vendors firewall, Cisco firewall, Palo Alto firewall, FortiGate firewall, and Checkpoint firewall. You can deploy firewall in two ways, as a L3 device or as a L2 device. Okay, Palo Alto L2 deployment is here virtual wire. Means after some time you will learn the firewall techniques. In firewall techniques, we have a technique which is called transparent firewall. But Palo Alto doesn't use the name transparent firewall. In Palo Alto, transparent firewall feature is available with the name of virtual wire. Here we will learn about what is this, why we will use it, and theoretical and practical. Next, we have here high availability. In HA, normally when we use one firewall, then there will be always a single point of failure. To solve this problem, all vendors firewalls provides a feature that is called HA, high availability. Palo Alto firewall support active passive and active active high availability. We will do theory and practical of both modes, active passive as well as with active active. Features which we have discussed till now. These features can be provided by normal firewall, okay, or any firewall can provide this who is not next generation. But features beyond this like decryption, app ID, content ID, URL filtering, wildfire, user ID, monitoring and reporting. So these features are provided by a next generation firewall. Okay, now let's discuss what is decryption. We will understand it with the help of diagram. So please have patience. Hmm. Now we are discussing about decryption. Assume we have here a network, and in that network we have a PC, we have a PC, PC connected with Palo Alto Firewall. Palo Alto Firewall is connected with internet, and at this internet we have a server. It can be SSL or TLS server, or you can call it, we have here HTTPS server. At firewall, definitely what we will do, we will allow here HTTPS. When we will allow HTTPS, then the user which is sitting in my lane that can establish SSL tunnel, that can establish SSL tunnel with the server through firewall, and using this tunnel what the user can do, user can do secure communication. But along with secure communication, this user can also do one thing. This user can upload and download virus. This user can upload and download spyware, and there can be data loss using SSL tunnel. We know very well that this protocol, SSL, was designed for secure communication between client and server. But it is also possible that user or attacker can use this protocol to bypass firewall. Because when client will establish tunnel with the server, then we know very well either client know or server know about the data. Rest of the devices has no idea what is going under the SSL tunnel. But we will not like this, that user will bypass our firewall. If user is trying to use establish, or user is trying to establish SSL tunnel, definitely they will do because we have allowed it. But what we want here, we want here this thing. Okay, if user is establishing SSL VPN tunnel with outside server, let them establish. But if they are trying to they are trying to use that tunnel to exchange the virus, spyware, and data loss, then our firewall should be able to detect that and should be able to stop that attack. To do so, our firewall should have has capability that firewall can do this, and this capability will come with a feature when we have decryption supported on our firewall. When we will enable decryption, or it is also called, this decryption is also called HTTPS inspection. So either you can call it decryption or you can call it HTTPS inspection. But we are learning about Palo Alto. So Palo Alto says it decryption. Rest of the vendors like Cisco, like FortiGate, like Checkpoint, they call it HTTPS inspection. So it is up to you. You want to call it decryption or HTTPS inspection. when we will enable a decryption or HTTPS inspection on our firewall, then firewall can see under your SSL tunnel, and if this firewall will see any virus, spyware and data loss, we can drop that, we can block that. But this blocking will be done with the help of security profiles, not by decryption. What decryption will allow us? With the help of decryption, we can only see with the help of decryption. When we will enable decryption, then decryption will provide us capability. You can see under the SSL tunnel. If you want to block the virus, block the spyware and block the data loss, this task will be done with the help of security profiles. But security profiles can drop the attack, they can block the attack if someone will convert the data in plain text format, encrypted data in plain text format. And who can do this? Yes, SSL, HTTPS inspection or decryption can convert the encrypted data in plain text format. It means we can see, and when we can see, with the help of security profiles, we can block virus, spyware, and data loss. Okay, now when we will enable decryption, so this thing should be clear. With the help of decryption, we can see the data which is going under the SSL tunnel, and if any suspected data or non-malicious malicious traffic no malicious traffic is going under the SSL tunnel, then with the help of security profile we can block that. But actually how it will work? When we will enable decryption, then firewall will not let the client to directly establish session with the public server. So when we will enable decryption, there will be two sessions. One session will be between client and Palo Alto, and second session will be between Palo Alto and public server. In this way, firewall will work as a man in middle for your SSL session. When we have data internal, at that time the data is encrypted. When we have data internal, at that time that is in encrypted format. But when we have data at firewall, at that time we have data in plain text format. So encrypted data will be converted in plain text format. When we have data in plain text format, then we have here security profiles. Yes, with the help of security profile, we can clean the data. Then clean data can be sent inside or outside in this way. But remember it, with the help of decryption, we can see or we can convert the encrypted data in plain text format so that we can filter the traffic with the help of security profiles. So this thing here, it is only just introduction. More theory and or this topic we will discuss in more detail when its time will come. But here at this time it is just introduction. I'm just giving you an idea that yes, Palo Alto Firewall can see what is going under the SSL tunnel or SSH tunnel. If something is suspected, we can block that, we can stop that with the help of security profiles. So this thing we will learn here at the place of decryption. Again, I'm saying with the help of decryption, we can convert encrypted data in plain text. That's it. Next, we have here app ID. So what is this app ID? Let's discuss here. Same, we have a scenario just like previous one. We have a PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with Palo Alto is connected with internet. And at internet, assume we have two servers here. So first server, you can assume we have Facebook, and another server you can assume we have here Gmail. Now we have a client sitting on the PC. So client dynamic port will hit to the Facebook server and at the port number 443, and for next connection client dynamic port will hit to the port number 443 of your Gmail. Now what will happen? First, they will establish one session at port number 443. Then using that session, there will be another session, or there can be another session. Next, there can be another session. First of all, let me draw it, then I'll explain you that what I'm trying to say. We are discussing here app ID, which is equal to application identification. So what is application identification? Palo Alto says, because we are discussing about here Palo Alto technology, so we need to give the reference, or we need to take the reference of their document. So they says that application has no standard definition in the market, but we have to define it in some way. So Palo Alto says that when we have a client and we have a server, so we can say here a session slash a session or connection or communication between client and server, which can be identified, monitor, which can be identified, monitor and controlled, is called application. Palo Alto says that a session, connection, or communication between client and server, which can be identified, monitored, and controlled, is called application. Palo Alto Firewall can identify the session, connection, or communication that first of all client is using, which session, or client is trying to establish SSL session. Under SSL, this is Facebook session. In Facebook, this is Facebook chat session. This is Facebook post session. This is Facebook games session. And this is Facebook event session, like this. Same here. In another connection, Palo Alto can identify, till here it is SSL, but now it is not Facebook, it is a Gmail session. In Gmail session, it is Google Docs session. In Google Docs, it is upload session. This is download session, and this is your Google Docs editing session. Okay, in this way. So Palo Alto Firewall has capability it when a client is wants to communicate with server, and at that connection how many session, in the same connection how many session or connection that is trying to establish. Palo Alto Firewall has capability to identify this is SSL, this is Facebook chat, this is post, this is games, or this is event. Same here. Till here it is SSL, but now this is Gmail, this is Google Docs, this is Google Docs upload, this is Google Docs download, and this is Google Docs editing session or connection. So when Palo Alto Firewall can identify it, okay, then it will give us an opportunity. What we can do, we can control it. So we can define Google Docs upload download should be blocked. Facebook chat, Facebook games should be blocked by the firewall. So we can control these applications. So with the help of app ID, we can identify, monitor, and control the session connection or communication between client and server. But to identify them in more accurate way, because now you are watching that these applications will work under SSL tunnel before app ID, or if you think app ID should work perfectly, we need to enable decryption. And what is decryption? I have already told you. So before app ID implementation, you need to perform decryption. So this thing we can do with the help of app ID. Now question is this, okay, these applications or features comes day by day, then don't worry. Palo Alto Firewall provides you signature. Okay, Palo Alto Firewall or network provides you signatures, new signatures you can download from Palo Alto, or you can schedule them, schedule to download and install them, so that you can identify and control the applications which were introduced by Facebook, Gmail, and other vendors. And those signatures come weekly. They can also come before week, but Palo Alto says yes, every week we will provide you new app signatures, new app signatures. So Palo Alto Firewall or network will provide you new app signatures every week. But remember it, they can also come before week. So either you can download or install them, or you can schedule them. So this is your app ID or application identification. Using it, using app ID, you can control the applications or sessions which will be used on port number 80 443 or on another port. So this will happen in your app ID. Next is what? Next we have here content ID. So what is this content ID? Before discussing content ID, again, I'm just revising. With the help of decryption, only you can convert encrypted data in plain text. With the help of app ID, you can identify the sessions. But till now, we have not discussed if the data contain virus, spyware, how we can control that. Then to control that, we have another feature which is called content ID. So what is this? Let's again understand with the help of diagram. Now we are discussing about content ID, or you can call it content identification. Content identification. Done. We have same network PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet, and internet is connected with a public server. Now we have user in our organization. That user is trying to send request to public server. This is our any public server. Now this public server has some data. That data will come in the response through firewall. But that data can has virus, can has spyware, okay, or we can say any attack. Now, how we can protect our network from such kind of virus, spyware, and attack? Then Palo Alto says, okay, don't worry. we have a feature. We have a feature on Palo Alto Firewall which is called Content ID. So you just need to enable Content ID. When we are enabling Content ID, it means on Palo Alto Firewalls, we have here security. We have here security profiles. In security profiles, we have here like antivirus, we have here anti spyware, we have here file blocking, and we have here data filtering. So we just need to enable them. Action. Enable, 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 enable. Now, if user is sending any request to public server, definitely user will send a request to internet, and from public server they will try to download any data. When this data will come at firewall, then firewall will filter this data through antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profiles. If any virus is there, that will be stopped by antivirus. If any spyware is available in the data, that will be stopped by anti-spyware. If we have configure a policy like if any user is trying to download exe file or any PDF file, that should be blocked. So in file blocking, not in spyware. In file blocking, we can define if any exe file or any PDF file is coming through or going through, if that file is being uploaded or downloaded by firewall or through firewall from your inside user, so what we can do, we can deny that. So antivirus will protect us from virus, anti-spyware will protect us from spyware. File blocking, with the help of file blocking, we can control file extensions like exe, pdf, txt, doc, etc., etc. If the file will go through firewall, firewall can generate log or firewall can block that file. And with the help of data filtering profile, if any file contain credit card information, so firewall can generate a log or firewall can drop that file. So these profiles, what actually these profiles will do, these profiles will clean the data. These profiles will clean the data, and that clean data will be offered to client. That clean data will be offered to client. So what is content ID? It is in front of you. When we will enable on our Palo Alto firewall like antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profiles, with the help of these profiles, we can clean the data or we can remove the impurities from data. That will be called as a content ID. Now question is, okay, because attacks or virus, they came in market day by day or every day they came. So don't worry about it. Palo Alto Firewall will provides you signatures. Palo Alto Firewall will provides you signature of signature of antivirus and anti-spyware. So this update will come daily. Signatures update will come for antivirus and anti-spyware, which you can manually download on firewall or which you can schedule on firewall. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is this: if a data contain any virus, spyware, or if we want to block certain file format, or if we want to control sensitive information to leave or come in our organization, then Palo Alto Firewall has security profiles like antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering. When you will enable these four profiles on Palo Alto Firewall, that will be called as content ID. But remember it, these security profiles by default, they will affect or they can control the data which is coming in plain text format. If data or attack is going in under SSL tunnel, then they can't block that. And if you want these profiles should work under the SSL tunnel, so we have to enable decryption, which we have already discussed or discussed here. Okay, so remember it. If you want, the security profile should work under your SSL tunnel, and for that we need to enable decryption on Palo Alto Firewall, which we have already discussed. So remember it, when we will enable security profiles like antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, data filtering, that will be counted as content ID. Next, we have here URL filtering. So what is URL filtering here? We all know that when we have internet connection, then we can or user can upload, not upload, user can access any website like assume we have here client, we have client connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is further connected with internet, and at internet we have some servers like Google, like Facebook, and like YouTube. Now, user from our organization, they can access any website, but we want these users should not be able to access website like Facebook and YouTube. For that, we need to enable URL filtering on Palo Alto Firewall. When we will enable URL filtering on Palo Alto Firewall, then we have URL categories. We have URL categories on Palo Alto Firewall. We have 70 plus categories available on Palo Alto Firewall. We have categories like search engine. Then we have here social sites. Then we have here streaming, video, and XYZ. Another categories like torrent, gambling, etc., etc., etc. Now, in URL filtering, we can define, okay, search engines are allowed, social sites block, streaming video block, XYZ category block. Now, what will happen? If user will say, I want to go to Google, Google belongs to search engine. Palo Alto knows that this is search engine, then search engine request is here allow. If user will say no, I want to access at this time Facebook. According to Facebook, Facebook belongs to social site. According to our policy, that is deny. So this session will be blocked by firewall. Same for YouTube in this way. Okay. Now user will only able to access. User will only able to access those websites which are defined by you. Okay, so user can access those sites like Google. If you want to allow Facebook, you can. You will need to just enable here. Okay, social sites access is allowed, so you can control the URL access of public servers through Palo Alto Firewall, and to do so there is no need to purchase any proxy server. On Palo Alto Firewall, we can do this task or stuff only with the help of URL filtering. Mostly this task is done by the proxy server, but Palo Alto says that if you have my firewall and you have purchased the license of URL filtering, then there is no need of proxy server. Same task you can done on firewall itself. Done. So this will happen on this will be happen or this task or this thing we can do with the help of URL filtering here. Next, what we have? Next, we have here wildfire. So what is wildfire? Just again, I'm recalling I'm recalling because to understand the wildfire, it is necessary. With the help of decryption, we can convert encrypted data in plain text. With the help of app ID, we can identify, control, and identify, monitor, and control the applications. With the help of content ID, we can control virus, spyware, file upload, download, and we can protect our network from data leak prevention. Okay, or from data leak, we can protect our network. And with the help of URL filtering, we can control the website access. But next is here wildfire. With the help of wildfire, we can protect our network from unknown attack. So what is this? Definitely we will discuss it. Wildfire. Assume we have a PC connected with Palo Alto. Palo Alto is connected with internet. Internet is connected with a public server. Now, at this firewall, we have defined a rule like rule number one. If attacks are known, if attacks are known, then you can take action. If attacks are known, then you can take action. How we can identify the attacks? Because at firewall we have rule, or we can say at firewall we have signatures. If firewall will see any pattern like this and this in data, that should be considered as attack and that should be deny. Now we have a user sitting on this PC. That user will send request to public server through firewall. Public server will give reply. In reply, public server will send any data. Okay. Now that data which firewall is receiving in the response, that data will be match, or firewall will match that data with known attacks. At this time, no pattern match in data. When no pattern match, it means data is clear. Then this data will be allowed. If this data contain any pattern like this, or this, then what will happen? Same. Firewall will match file or data with known pattern. At this time, data is matching with our attack signature. Now, firewall will not allow this. At this time, this data will be dropped, or reply will be dropped by the firewall. Now we can say that any firewall can deny or drop those attacks which are known. Now, what will happen if firewall is receiving an unknown attack? Then what will happen? Okay, Now we will simulate or we will understand here what will happen if any unknown attack is coming. Now the data with unknown attack will come at firewall. Firewall will match data with known attack. At this time, this pattern is not matching with our database. If not matching, then data with unknown attack or data with ZDA is allow here. Now this host will be compromised or this host will goes down. Got it? Now question is this: can we stop zero-day attack? Then we will say no. But is there any opportunity that we can minimize the loss? We can control it in any way. If you are initially facing zero-day attack, if there is a zero-day attack, that will not match with any signature. If it will not match with any non-attack, then any vendor firewall can't stop it. That will bypass the firewall. But if we will let it go, then all hosts will be compromised, and until when we will realize there will be a lots of damage we will be in our organization. Now we have to stop it or we have to minimize the effect of zero-day attack. Then a new technology was introduced that is called sandbox inspection. That is called sandbox inspection. And this sandbox inspection is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of Wildfire. Okay, what we do in sandbox inspection or in Wildfire? In sandbox inspection or in Wildfire, we configure a second rule and we say to firewall, if attacks are unknown, if attacks are unknown, then what to do? Then you have to take action. Action is this, that send attack info, send attack information, send attack information to cloud/data center of Palo Alto. So we have to configure a second rule on firewall, which is wildfire rule, or you can say sandbox inspection rule. And in this rule, we will define our firewall in this way. If attacks are unknown, then send attack information to cloud or data center. Now, so at internet somewhere, Palo Alto is connected. Now we can assume this is Palo Alto cloud or data center, and this firewall will send the zero-day attack file to cloud. Now what will happen? Now again simulate it. Client is initiating a request to public server. Public server is sending a file. That file contain ZDA, zero-day attack or unknown attack information. When the reply will come at firewall, firewall will match the file with non-attack. If it is not matching, then firewall will try to match it with unknown attack. Yes, now file is matching with unknown attack. When file is matching with unknown attack, then this firewall will send information to Palo Alto cloud or data center. Palo Alto will submit the file or data with ZDA, data with zero-day attack, to Palo Alto cloud. At Palo Alto cloud or data center, they have dedicated engineers there, and those engineers will analyze it and they will say, whatever you have submitted to us, this is virus or this is attack, then they will generate update or prevention solution for this. That update will be called as wildfire update, and that wildfire update will be sent to that wildfire update will be sent to Palo Alto. What Palo Alto will do? Palo Alto will accept it, and Palo Alto will accept the update and it will place the information in its non-database. But question is this: when firewall is sending file, firewall is sending a file to cloud. Now firewall is sending file, as well as firewall is here receiving update. There will be a time duration. Yes. Palo Alto says that if you have submitted any file to us, you can get the update within 3 to 5 minutes. Within 3 to 5 minutes, you can expect the update here. Got it or not? Now, what will happen during this time? So we will say when initially 0-day attack file will come, firewall will match with non-database. It will not match. It will match with unknown attack and it will send file information to cloud. Until this update will not come, then we can say before update, before update. Before update, ZDA will be allowed. Until your update will not come, ZDA will be allowed. But when the file will be submitted to cloud and cloud will give you, a data center will give you wildfire update, and you will accept the update and firewall will place the update in non-database. Now firewall has prevention technique. Now we can say after update, after update, ZDA will be denied. After update, ZDA, 0-day or unknown attack will be denied, but before update, ZDA will be or unknown attack will be allowed. Okay, if you are the first victim, if you are the initial victim, no one can stop you. But once firewall will see unknown attack, it will send information to cloud and cloud will give you update as soon as possible. We can say within 3 to 5 minutes. So after 3 to 5 minutes, you can block that attack on your perimeter device or on your Palo Alto firewall. But initial victim, no one can stop him or her. Got it? Now question is this. Okay, now suppose you are not the first victim. Here we have Palo Alto firewall connected. So here we have another Palo Alto firewall connected. Now same thing, assume you are here. So when you are here, you are not the first victim, then what will happen? Any attack will happen on any organization. Firewall will send attack information to cloud. Cloud will generate update. That update will go to that organization as well. And this update will also come to you. The attack which is unknown for you, still you are getting the update for that. So you have previous signatures like 1, 2, 3. You had 3 signatures attack information already there, but now you have 4 signatures as well. Got it or not? If the same attack will happen in your organization, you already have the prevention technique. So what will happen? So it is just information sharing. Whatever happened to you, you will share with Palo Alto. Palo Alto will update to other firewalls. Whatever happened to them, they will tell to Palo Alto and Palo Alto will update to you. So it is also called reputation based technique. Okay. But actually on Palo Alto, it is called sandbox inspection, or it is called wildfire. In sandbox or inspection or wildfire, we configure a second rule on Palo Alto. If you see any unknown attack information, send that information to cloud so that cloud can generate update, and that update can be delivered to you. Now firewall will accept the update, it will add the update in non-database. Now firewall will start protecting you according to the update. Got it or not? So sandbox inspection is wildfire and wildfire is sandbox inspection. And wildfire update will come after every 3 to 5 minutes. Got it? So those firewalls or customers who have wildfire subscription, they will get update after every 3 to 5 minutes. But assume you are a company and you have not purchased what wildfire subscription. Then what will happen to them? Don't worry. This update will be called as this update will be assembled, or this update will come as antivirus update. Same update will come as a antivirus update, and those update will go to that customer, but it will not go or come after every 3 to 5 minutes. It will come after 24 hours if any attack is happening. So wildfire subscription enabled customers will receive the unknown attack information after every 3 to 5 minutes. Those customers who don't have wildfire subscription, they will get attack information, but not immediately. They will get attack information after 24 hours. So this is the main difference between wildfire update and antivirus update. Wildfire update will come after every 3 to 5 minutes if you have purchased wildfire subscription. If you have not purchased the wildfire subscription, then don't worry. If any attack is going there in organization, then that update will come after every 24 hours. If you can survive till 24 hours, then no need to take wildfire subscription. If you think no, my data and information is critical, want any I don't want any delay in solution, okay, or I don't want to take any risk, then you can take wildfire subscription. Clear? Okay.
Nandip,
So
I have a doubt here.
mhm.
Right? Yeah. So
Please.
if I'm having the wildfire subscription, and like as you said, right, I'll how I'm going to be the victim, because anyway we are not going to accept the signatures which are unknown, right? So once we have the signature, once we get any kind of unknown signature, it will be redirected to the sandbox, and then sandbox will send that unknown information to the cloud, right?
No,
So
no,
at
no.
every time
No,
we are
no,
going.
you are going wrong. What I'm
Okay.
saying, on Palo Alto, we will configure a second rule that
Correct.
if you see any unknown attack information, send that information directly to the public cloud. Got it or not?
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So this process, whatever I'm saying, that a device, we have firewall or IPS, that is sending a file to a dedicated system. That dedicated system can be on premise or that can be on the cloud. So this process is called sandbox inspection. But Palo
Correct.
Alto do the marketing of this process with the name of wildfire. And here, let me clear to you, when we are saying to Palo Alto that you need to send a file to cloud. So this cloud can be on premise or this cloud can be on Palo Alto data center, or this appliance can be on local premise or we can use cloud-based solution. So it depends on that which type of solution you are using in your organization. But Palo Alto recommends cloud-based solution that don't use Wildfire appliance in your organization, because that appliance has limited resources. In our data center, Palo Alto says we have collected signatures or attack information since 2005. So we have lots of years attack information, we have lots of resources. Then cloud-based solution is recommended by Palo Alto. Clear?
Yeah, this is clear. I'm just, my question is like, I mean, how I'm going to be the victim? Because at any point of time, if I'm having the wildfire configured, it will be redirected to the Palo Alto cloud to check, right? I mean, every three
Mhm,
to five minutes, as you said, wildfire updates
mhm,
will be given to the enterprise
mhm.
network, right? Whoever is having the Palo Alto. So how I'm going to be the victim at any point of time? That's what my, like, I'm just wondering.
Okay,
Because
listen.
anytime we are going to deny it, right?
Wait,
If
wait, 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 wait. How you can be the first victim?
Yeah, correct.
Then in our industry, the best protection is in this way, that disconnect yourself from internet. Can you do that?
No, I mean that's not possible.
Not possible, definitely. Now, in present time, it is not possible that we will disconnect ourselves from the internet. Now, not you, not you, but assume in your
Mhm.
organization you have a user, and that user is accessing any public server. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
this server can be torrent, or this server can be any public server which we can access, or any server from which we can download any kind of file. For example, this is the user, and this user wants to establish SSL, not SSL, SSH session with any uh, server. And to access that, what we will use? We will use a solution, or we use a software like Putty or Putty, whatever you call. So user
Mhm.
can establish session with SSH server with Putty, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
But that session can be also established via secure CRT, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yes.
this user has no secure CRT in its system, but this user know my admin is trying to access multiple servers, SSH servers with secure CRT. That looks pretty good. Why not I? Then it will search on Google. Okay, secure CRT for Windows 10 or 11, etc. When he will download, then that secure CRT will come with a evaluation period, 15 days or 30 days.
Mm.
Now, after 15 days, 30 days, that security CRT session will be blocked. Now user will search on internet how to crack secure CRT. Then
Mm.
public server like Google will give the solution or any redirect to any page. There the page or that form can be displayed that you can crack the secure CRT using this XYZ patch or exe file. Now the user is trying to download that file. Got it or
Mm.
not? So the
Got it.
user which is unaware about any kind of attack, he or she just want to use secure CRT without paying anything, and they will download that file. So that file or data can contain which kind of attack?
Any kind of unknown attacks.
Unknown attack. Reason is this:
Mm.
if anyone is giving anything free on internet, that is not free. The
Mm.
entity who is delivering that software or material free, that is not in the cheap saving, that is targeting a big audience, or that is waiting for a big fish. So
Correct.
these unknown attacks or any malware or software, they comes just like in any file format, like download this file, okay, enjoy your miss. any in format, any text file format, any PDF format, any exe format. Okay, they can be in any format which will be downloaded by the user. By default, they will not come from outside. Your engineers, your client will go to torrent server, they will go
Mm.
to malicious website, then they will download the file, and that file will contain unknown attack or zero-day attack. Clear?
Okay, this is clear. Yeah, okay. Hmm.
Anything else?
Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, if we are blocking, I mean, anyway, those files will come through the firewall, right?
Mm-hmm,
If I have my enterprise network installed, right? So
mm-hmm,
whatever files gets downloaded by that particular user, it's
mm-hmm.
a unknown file, right? It will come via
Yes.
firewall, and obviously, if you're applying the application level filtering that we're not supposed to download this type of file, only then we can able to prevent.
Yeah,
But
but
once the file is
remember
downloaded,
it. Remember it. Listen. Okay. You say that you here we are downloading which kind of file? Exe file. Got it? So we
mhm,
can block it exe file with the help of file blocking. It is okay. But anyone can send PDF file, anyone
yeah,
can send Excel file, correct?
correct, correct.
Okay, now, for example, you are not downloading exe you have blocked, but on that website they have mentioned that we download this Excel file. In that this Excel file you have code, apply those codes in your secure CRT, then you can
Mm,
activate that. Got it or not? So now
got it.
what the user will do? User will download exe file. Now
Mm,
that zero-day attack is attached with that file. Which file?
the
Excel
PDF file,
file.
the
Yeah,
Excel
PDF
file.
file
Mm,
or Excel file. Then user will,
mm,
okay, now according to your application or your application level blocking or your content level blocking, that file is not exe. That is what? PDF,
mm,
or that is dot XLS whatever. Now that is allow. Now what will happen? This file will bypass your firewall because according exe should be blocked. It is not exe, it is PDF or
mm,
Excel, and it is as well as it is not matching with your this file pattern is not matching with your non-database. Only non-database, non-attack information will be blocked, but it is unknown. Then again, file will bypass the firewall and it will go to your client. When client will open the file, then this
mm.
victim, this client will come under attack. Clear?
Yeah, clear. Yeah. So after that, what happens? I mean, once the client opens that file, anyway, he is the
Yes.
victim now. So
Now,
how the
what will
firewall?
happen? It depends on the attack. With that attack can be encrypt your client data. That attack with that file can send the enable the control for your outside attacker. It depends on that which kind of harmful code is in that file or that virus can do. So it depends on the virus and code which is inside the file. Clear?
Yeah, clear. So if that particular file, I mean, if that particular, I mean, and anyway, the victim is already in attack, right? Already been
Yes.
attacked. Now,
Yeah.
the PA cloud will send the signature to the enterprise PA, right?
Not here
So,
in this way. Listen. So first, firewall should see that we have received any unknown attack. Clear?
yeah, so that's what. So how it will know that it has received an unknown attack? I mean, the victim is me. Let's say I have opened the file and my entire
Hmm,
system is compromised. So how
hmm.
firewall is going to know that my system has been compromised and I am
No, no,
under?
no. No. Again, you are going in wrong way. Firewall knows that okay, firewall or request was initiated. The client initiated request to internet through firewall. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now whatever the data will come, that will come through firewall. Correct?
Right.
Correct,
Okay.
correct, yes.
Okay, now firewall have seen that this particular user has downloaded this suspected file which is not matching with my database. Clear?
True. Correct.
Only
Yeah,
that.
as per the applied policies on the firewall, the data is not matching. If someone
Yes,
sends a file.
If only at one time one candidate will participate, then it will easy for me. So what I'm saying, when the user will initiate a request, this file will go through firewall. When this file will go through firewall, firewall knows that this particular IP has established session with this particular public server. In the response, this file was downloaded by the user. Now,
Correct.
the file which was downloaded by the user, when this file goes through me, then I have matched this file with non-signatures. It is not matching, but as well as it is not normal. So neither it is normal nor it is matching with my non-attack. So it means it is abnormal and it belongs to unknown attack. Now it
Uh,
will match with second rule, and according to second rule, Palo Alto will create a copy of this actual file, and that copy of attack will send to public cloud. Now public cloud will receive it, then they will analyze it, and they will say, okay, whatever you have submitted to us that was virus, then they will start working on it. They will generate update, and within 3 to 5 minutes they will give you the update. That update will come as Wildfire update in your Palo Alto firewall, which you can download manually or which you can schedule it. If you have download and install manually, automatically that will come in non-database. But the actual file was downloaded by the client and that was under attack. Now that's happened. No one can stop it this. But
mm,
now onwards, when we have update, after update, we can block such kind of attacks. Clear?
Perfect. This is clear, right? So I was in an impression, like, when Palo Alto is going to apply the deny or apply rule, right? So now
No,
it
no,
is clear.
no, no,
A
no,
moment, no,
no.
a moment.
Listen, listen, wait again. Only when we have non-signature. So non-signatures means we have here, you again I'm repeating, we have antivirus signatures, we have anti-spyware signatures, we have file blocking signatures. So these signatures we have already defined, and their action we have already defined. If any will match with antivirus, anti-spyware and file blocking, what to do with those files, what to do with that data, we need to deny that data. But if any file which is not normal, as well as it is not matching with my non-signatures, it means that that belongs to unknown. Only that file will go to public cloud.
Got
Clear?
it. Got it. It will parallelly work. Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so
Yeah.
this, anything else from another candidates? I think someone was also participating in it.
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay. Now let's move further and let.
Hello, I
Mhm,
have one question.
mhm.
These are the updates which we received from Palo Alto. So, if we set the automatic updates, then it will be automatically updated on daily basis on the Palo Alto firewall.
Mhm.
Is this correct?
Yes, but we are wrong. Firewall, Palo Alto firewall will continuously send unknown attack information to cloud. And any file which was uploaded by Palo Alto, that update will come after every 3 to 5 minutes. So these wildfire updates, because you are not only the person in the market or at the internet or on the planet which are participating in this wildfire process, there will be also another customers, and if anything is happening to them, they will also send up update to the cloud, and cloud or data center will also generate update. So these wildfire updates you will see on your Palo Alto firewall after every 3 to 5 minutes. Is this thing clear?
Yes. No, my question is, if when we receive this wildfire update, it will be
Mhm.
automatically updated in our database automatically, or do we need to do we add it on manually basis?
You have two options. Either you can do it manually after every 3 to 5 minutes, or you can schedule it. Which option you will like to
Okay.
deploy?
Automatic is better. And
Yes.
one more means, suppose if we the traffic we which are coming on Palo Alto is not
Mm-hmm.
matching with our rule number one. So
Okay,
it will match the rule number 2, and after that the data will go to the Palo Alto, and after that they will check and provide us the wildfire update. But
correct.
in that time, can we disconnect this session?
Not
Which
possible. Not
okay,
possible. Forget it. Because listen, it will not happen in this way. Now assume we have time 11 a.m. For example, at 11 a.m. we have initiated a session with public server. Now we are getting a file at which time? At 11:01. Now we are watching on the firewall whether it is suspected or not. Now the total time consumed here 11:02. Then we find, okay, now it is neither it is matching with which one? Non, or neither it is matching with non-attack or normal. Okay, now firewall will let it go to public cloud. So this option is not provided by Palo Alto, because this task will happen in milliseconds. Means whenever you will send request, within millisecond you will get file, and that file firewall will check either that is match, either it is normal, okay, normal allowed. If it is matching with non, okay, then drop it. If it is not normal, not matching with non attack, it is means it is unknown, then within milliseconds firewall will take action. Initial file will go to the cloud, and copy of that attack information, initial copy will go to client, and copy of the attack will go to public cloud. Palo Alto firewall doesn't provides you any option that until you can block or stop that session or connection. No option. Okay.
okay,
Okay, listen, it is just like corona. So in
yeah,
2019, entire world faced the problem corona. So corona symptoms are just like normal fever. When you have corona, so you have some light fever, okay, but after 3 or 4, 5 days, condition will be worse, and then you will leave the world. Same here. So in is there means we can do it theoretically, we can it is very easy to say, but practically it is not possible, because any organization don't have sufficient resources that they can check, or they can check every connection in real time, okay, within millisecond. So admin can't do this, as well as firewall will not allow you. If firewall allow you an option, one this thing, okay, this is what, this is normal file, let it go, and if this is abnormal, let it stop. If this opportunity will provide to you, then after getting that technology, you will never go to Palo Alto or any vendor to purchase further solution or services. So it can be done, but vendors will not do it. This right will not be the stopping attack on firewall itself by the network admin for unknown attack. I don't think that vendors will provide you this right or this superpower to a network engineer. If they will do, then I think the companies want to shut down themselves when they are deploying this. Clear?
yeah. Okay, understand. Thanks.
Okay. Now, so remember it, wildfire is actually sandbox inspection, and in sandbox inspection or wildfire, we configure a rule on Palo Alto firewall that if you see any unknown attack information, send that information to Palo Alto cloud, so that they can analyze it and they can give update to you. Question is this, why I can't generate the update? Listen, we in this field, we are just like doctors. You are the doctor who can do operations, but you can't develop medicines. They have, for those tasks or those, we have separate doctors and experts. Same here, you can implement firewall, okay, you can deploy policy, but at the same time you can't generate antivirus signatures. And if you are here in this team, you are generating antivirus signatures, at that time you can't implement firewall, you can't configure routing. So both tasks will be done by separate engineers or expert. So this thing is called here what? This thing is called here wildfire. Okay, next is what? Next we have here user ID. So what is this user ID? We can understand it in two way. Like, first of all, 1 minute. Assume we have a PC. PC is connected with Palo Alto and Palo Alto is connected with internet. Now at Palo Alto, we have, you can also mention your network like 192.168.101.1, 192.168.101.x, any IP address. Now this is public and dot one. Okay, at firewall, we have configured. So policy can be implemented in this way. Just example rule. If source network is which one? 192.168.101.x and destination is any, what to do? Allow. You can configure rule on Palo Alto firewall. If source is this network, destination is any, then what should be the action? Action should be allow. Got it or not? But we are not happy with this. What we have in our organization, we also have Microsoft AD. We also have here Microsoft Active Directory, or we can say LDAP server. Now what we want? We want to integrate Microsoft AD with Palo Alto Firewall. Why we are doing this? Because at AD we have group like HR, like IT, like sales. When we will do integration of HR, IT, sales with Palo Alto, so this group information is available on Palo Alto HR, IT, and sales. When we have same group information on Palo Alto Firewall, then Palo Alto Firewall will provide us an opportunity. Now we can create here rule like this. If HR, if IT, or if sales engineers, if the source belongs to this one, if source is this one and destination is like any, and action, if they want to go anywhere, then which action firewall should take? Firewall should allow the session. Now you can see that we have configured firewalls rule in two way. Either it can be based on source IP and either it can be based on source user. So it is up to you. So when we are doing integration of Microsoft AD and Palo Alto, so that we can deploy AD group based policies on Palo Alto, that is called user ID. So with the help of user ID, what we can do? With the help of user ID or user identification, we can configure AD group based policies on Palo Alto firewall. So first thing, it will help us to enable more control as compared to policy provides us based on source IP. Second thing, it will also provides us accurate user information. User information will also provided by this user ID. Why? When we will deploy IP-based policy, in IP-based policy, there can be a log in IP-based policy. There can be a log on firewall, like source was 192.168.101.100 and destination was which one? 8.8.8.8, and that session was allowed through the firewall. But when you have enabled here user ID, then log will generate in this way. In which way? Like source user, that we will get information like source user will be like Anil, and source IP will be 192.168.101.100 and destination was 8.8.8.8 and action was allow. So this log is more relevant as compared to first log. Okay, if we will see in first log, either this will be allow or deny. We have only which information? Source IP information, but we have no idea who was the user. But here you can see that source user was Amit or Anil, whatever. Then we can ask him or her that, okay, you have accessed this website, which was allow or deny. So why you have access it? If the policy says deny, if user says, okay, I am not able to access any kind of application, but firewall says you are the user, this is the IP, this is your destination IP, but according to firewall, this session is allowed. So based after user ID or AD integration, you will get accurate user information instead of source IP and destination IP. Clear? So when we do AD integration with Palo Alto, that is called user ID, and it will help us to find out accurate user information, as well as this will also help us to enable more control in our policy deployment. AD is the product of Microsoft Server, Microsoft organization, but LDAP is a open standard protocol which is used by Active Directory. Okay. Now this will be your user ID. Next is what? Next we have monitoring and reporting. In monitoring and reporting, you can see the logs, whatever you have done related to your decryption, app ID, content ID, URL filtering, and wildfire, as well as in user ID. But remember it, try to see the logs after deploying your next generation firewall features, because when you will enable these features, only you can see more logs here. If you will see the logs after your Palo Alto basics, so nothing you will get in logs. So try to, we will do logging and reporting after user ID. So after this Palo Alto training, then next we have here Panorama content. In Panorama, we will learn here what is Panorama, how to initially access it, okay, what are the hardware requirement to use Panorama, how to add additional hard disk, it will come introduction, and initially how to access Panorama, how to add firewall, how to create templates for firewalls, how to put them in device group. So these things will come at the time of Panorama. So this will be our entire content which we will cover in this entire training. Duration will be here about 2 months, or we can say 22 to 24 classes we required to cover this entire content. Clear? Maximum 24 classes will be there. Now, any problem with this content or any question regarding this content? No question, then no problem. Now, what we will do? Now you can see we have content from security platform and architecture to till Panorama. 1 minute, till Panorama management and reporting. Now, detailed information you can see below that content, that what we will do in initial configuration, what we will do in RIP, what we will do in OSPF. You can see, and all these topics we will cover. Now, what we will do? We have copied the content from firewall introduction to your Panorama management and troubleshooting. Now, what we will do? We will paste it in the notepad and paste it here. Select all, copy, minimize. Then we will save it in our sheet. Weekend 9 to 11. And here you can see the same content which we have. Delete and paste. Why I'm adding this? Because when we will cover this content, we need an idea that how much we have covered and how much is remaining. So today, what we have done? Today we have completed course content introduction, and tomorrow we will start with firewall introduction, and we will cover all the things till Panorama. So this sheet will help us to check that how much content we have covered and how much is remaining, as well as if you think that something is left or something is remaining, then I have give you the URL, you can check the content from I-MEDITA website and you can verify that what is missing or what is remaining. In previous class, we completed till course content introduction. Now, today, we will start with firewall introduction. To understand firewall clearly, I will take the reference of different vendors like Cisco. So you can create your own notes using recording when you will revise your session. Now, let's start with firewall introduction. We are here for Palo Alto Firewall. Palo Alto Firewall is a next generation firewall. And before understanding next generation firewall, we should have idea about what is firewall. Okay, so let's understand it with the help of diagram first. Assume we have branch 1. In branch 1, we have PC connected with router via switch, router connected with another router, then we have LAN device in this way. For easy understanding, you can write down IP addressing, or you can define IP addressing 101.100, 192.168.101.1, 192.168.1.1, 192.168.1.2, 192.168.102.1, 192.168.102.100. Here you can see we have two branches connected with each other. Now when we will configure IP addressing and routing, then what will happen? PC1 can communicate with PC2 and PC2 can communicate with PC1. This will happen when we will configure perfect IP addressing and routing. Now, requirement change. We want PC1 should be able to communicate with PC2, but PC2 should not be able to communicate with PC1. To achieve this result, we need to use firewall. Then we will deploy here firewall, and we can use one firewall. One firewall can goes down to prevent our network from single point of failure. Then what we will use here? We will use two firewalls and we will put them in a group that will be called here HAI availability. So what we are using here? We are using firewall. Now at this firewall, we will define policy. So policy will be like this, that if source network is 192.168.101.0 and destination network is 192.168.102.0, then action should be allowed in this way. So in this way, we need to define policy on our firewall. Now, what firewall will do? Firewall will allow PC1. Firewall will allow PC1 to communicate with PC2, but firewall will not allow PC2 to communicate with PC1. This traffic will be dropped by firewall. Now we need to define firewall here. How we can define? We can define that we are using here device. So firewall is a system. Yes, firewall can be a single system or group of system that manage access between two or more network. Yes, this firewall is managing access here between two or more networks. So we can say firewall is a system or group of system that manage access between two or more networks. Firewall can be hardware, firewall can be software, or firewall can be virtual appliance in present time. When we are replacing router with firewall, at that time firewall will be in the format of hardware, When the firewall will be in software format, we have a PC. At PC, we will install antivirus. So when we are installing antivirus, in that time, that antivirus is also a firewall, and at that time, the firewall will be in software format. Next, we have here the question that when the firewall will be in virtual appliance format. To understand it, we should have idea that in present time we use we use a service that is called clouds. That is called cloud, and cloud types are two here: private cloud and public cloud. Private cloud means we are using VirtualBox, we are using VMware Workstation, or we are using here VMware ESXi server. Public cloud means Google Cloud Platform, Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft Azure. So these are our public cloud, and these products are our private cloud. So on VirtualBox, on VMware Workstation, or on ESXi server, or on GCP, AWS, or Microsoft Azure, what we do, we can allocate, or we can design, or we can keep our servers there. When we have server on these platforms, that will be in virtual format, and to protect those virtual servers, we need firewall, and that firewall will be in the format of a virtual appliance. Now, this thing should be clear. What is firewall? Firewall is a system or group of systems that manage access at least between two or more networks. In present time, firewall can be in the format of hardware, software, or virtual appliance. After knowing firewall, we want to know firewall techniques. So firewall techniques are here five techniques, which we have, some techniques we have discussed yesterday, remaining we will discuss today. In present time, you can use firewall techniques like stateless packet filtering. You can use proxy server. You can use stateful firewall, transparent firewall, or next generation firewall. Yesterday, I told you that this next generation firewall is actually sandbox inspection. Any IPS or firewall which has sandbox inspection capability, that is called next generation IPS, or that is called next generation firewall. Remember it, any IPS which has sandbox inspection capability, that is called next generation IPS. Any firewall which has sandbox inspection capability, that will be called next generation firewall. Now we will discuss first firewall technique here, that is packet filtering. To understand it, let's move further. What is packet filtering or stateless packet filtering? In stateless packet filtering or packet filtering, packets are filtered using access list. I hope that you have knowledge of CCNA. In CCNA, we learn about ACL. So when we use ACL, actually we do packet filtering, or we can say we implement stateless packet filtering. In stateless packet filtering, packets are filtered using ACL, and in it, packets can be filtered based on layer 3 to layer 7 of OSI model. When we use ACL, we can filter the traffic. We can filter the traffic from layer 3 network layer to application layer. Now we want to know how many types of access list we can use here. Then example is, you can use standard access list, you can use extended access list, you can use named access list, or you can use time-based access list. In CCNA, I hope you have listened some names, but these are not only the access list. We also have another types of access list like dynamic access list, like reflexive access list, and TCP established access list. So with the help of access list, we know that what we can do, we can filter the packet or we can filter the traffic or packet from layer 3 to layer 7. Now question is this, when we are using ACL, definitely these ACLs will provide us advantage and definitely they have some disadvantages. Let's discuss about them. First advantage of ACL is easy to implement. How we can say that ACLs are access control list are easy to implement. Let's understand it. We have a PC connected to switch, switch connected to router, router connected to switch, switch is connected to a server. If this PC is the source and server is the destination, then this PC will generate a packet. Yes, this PC will generate a packet. That packet will go to router. At this interface traffic will in, at this interface traffic will be out. So at any direction, either in or out, what we can do, we can deploy here ACL, access control list. But which traffic we have to allow here? If this server belongs to HTTP, then we need know that HTTP use TCP port number 80. So we need to allow which one? We need to allow here in ACL, we need to allow TCP port number 80 so we can access our HTTP server. If this server belongs to HTTPS, then we need to allow TCP port number 443. If the server belongs to SMTP, we need to allow TCP port number 25. If this server belongs to DNS, we need to allow UDP port number 53. If you know the ports number, if you know the port number of your application, then we can say here the implementation of access list is easy. So, but remember it will be easy if you know the ports. If you don't know the ports, then it will be complex. Next advantage is here cost effective. How we can say that ACL implementation is cost effective? Because this ACL will be implemented either on router or switch. If your router or switch support ACL configuration, then there is no need to purchase additional device. And when we are not purchasing any additional device, then it means we are saving the money. So we can say here it will be cost effective. So advantages of your packet filtering are two, or you can also add more, that it will be easy to implement if we know the ports. It can be cost effective if our infrastructure devices like router and switch support ACL configuration, then there is no need to do additional investment. Along with advantages, we have some disadvantages of packet filtering. First, it is not scalable. What is the meaning of not scalable here? It means if we have some source like 100, if we have some destination like 10, if we have some services, okay, like 10, then question is here, how much ACL entries need to create? Okay, then formula is multiply source with destination, then multiply with services. 100 multiply 10, 1000 multiply 10, 10,000. If you have 100 source, 10 destination, and you have 10 services, then you need to create 10,000 ACL entries. So the job of creating 10,000 entries is not easy. So it is not scalable. Got it? Next disadvantage of packet filtering is complex access lists are hard to create and maintain. What is the meaning of this line? This line meaning is this: assume when we have PC connected with router and this router is connected with internet, and at internet we have a server that is DNS server. Now to allow DNS traffic, what we will do? We will allow here, we will allow UDP 53, port number 53. Now what will happen? Client will initiate a DNS query. That DNS query will be encapsulated under UDP 53. According to this DNS traffic will be allowed here. But assume at internet we have here what? Torrent server. Now what client will do? Client will create a uh, torrent payload that will be encapsulated, encapsulated under UDP 53. According to rule, torrent is also allowed. So when we are using packet filtering, in packet filtering, we will allow the ports. So on that allow port, DNS or any application is allowed. Now you can't create such ACL which can block. You can't create such ACL that which can block torrent communication at which port number? At port number 53. So this is the disadvantage of packet filtering. After knowing packet filtering, then its advantage and disadvantage, then we will move to next. Next we have here proxy server. To understand proxy server, first we will go through with diagram here. Assume we have here PC connected with switch, then switch is connected with router, router is connected with internet, and internet is connected with public servers like google.com, like facebook.com. So we have servers like Google, okay, and we have Facebook, we have YouTube, and we have here gambling website like poker.com. Okay, now the user which is in our lane that can access any website through our router or through our company network, but we don't want that this user should be able to access some sites like gambling websites and Facebook and YouTube. To protect our network from such HTTP or URL access, what we will do? We will deploy here proxy server. We can deploy proxy server in two ways, either in explicit proxy mode, or we can use second method, that is transparent proxy. When we will deploy proxy server, first method of deployment you can use explicit proxy or transparent proxy. When we deploy explicit proxy, at that time we need to do client configuration. In explicit proxy, we configure client, but in transparent proxy, we have to configure gateway configuration. So either you will configure client or you will configure gateway so that you can give the traffic to proxy server. Now here in lane environment, what we will do? We will deploy our proxy server. At this proxy server, we will configure policies. In policies, we will configure in this way, like if client is going for, like if anyone is going for Google, allow them. If anyone is going for Facebook, allow them. If anyone is going for YouTube, if anyone is going for YouTube, deny them. If anyone is going for poker.com, deny them. So such kind of policies we need to configure at proxy server. Now, let's take example of first method which we have here, explicit proxy. In explicit proxy, we will configure the client. Then client will directly send request to proxy server. Like client is saying to proxy that I want to go to google.com. Request will come to proxy. Proxy will check, okay, Google is allowed. Now this will be your second step. This will be your second step, policy check. Then proxy server will send request to google.com. Then Google will give reply. Google will give reply to proxy, and again the proxy 1, 2, 3, 4. Then again proxy will give reply to client in this way. In explicit proxy, we will configure client. Client will send request to proxy server. Proxy server will check the policies. Then the request will go to out. Outside server will give reply to proxy. Proxy will give reply to client. This will happen. Now client can access your Google. Now client will initiate another request that I want to go to where? I want to go to YouTube. Then firewall will check the policy that YouTube is denied. Then proxy server will give reply to client that YouTube access not allowed. YouTube access is denied. You can't access the YouTube according to organization policy. So whatever URL or category you have allowed, that will be allowed. Rest of the URLs will be denied, but it depends on the policy. In explicit proxy, remember it, we will configure client and client will give request to proxy server. But what will happen in transparent proxy? In transparent proxy, client will give request to gateway that I want to communicate with Google. Gateway will give request to proxy. Proxy will check, okay, Google is allowed here. Google is allowed here. When Google is allowed, then proxy will initiate a request. Proxy will initiate a request for Google. Then Google will give reply to proxy, and proxy will give reply to client in this way. So remember it, either you are using explicit proxy or transparent proxy. Ultimately, your request will go to proxy, then it will go to out. But difference is in explicit proxy, client will directly send request to proxy server, but in transparent proxy, gateway will send request to proxy server. And at proxy server, we have policies. Whatever policies you have implemented, then policy server will execute those policies. So whatever we have learned through proxy server, same thing is mentioned here, that when we are talking about what is proxy server works as an intermediate system between inside and outside world. Proxy server will not allow inside user to go outside directly or vice versa. Remember it, proxy server is also called as application gateway or application firewall. The task of policy server, it is mostly used for URL filtering, and URL stand for universal resource locator or uniform resource locator. Limitations of proxy servers are single point of failure. If you are using only one proxy, then definitely there will be a single point of failure. To solve this problem, deploy two proxy server, one primary and another secondary. When we are using HA, we can resolve the problem of single point of failure. Next problem will be here, it introduced delay. Yes, there will be definitely a delay. Delay will be in millisecond, but this problem can't be solved because client request will go to proxy, then proxy will send request to internet, and when internet will give reply, that will come to proxy, then it will come to client. So definitely we are initiating a connection 2 times, so definitely there will be some delay. To minimize it 100%, we can't finish it. To minimize it, what we need to do, deploy a good configuration proxy server, purchase a good internet bandwidth, then you can minimize it, but 100% you can't remove it. So this is something about what is proxy server and its use case, deployment types, and limitations. Next, we have another firewall technique here that is called stateful firewall. So what is stateful firewall? Before going with line by line definition, let's understand it with the help of diagram. Okay, we have a PC connected with a firewall, that is stateful firewall. Stateful firewall is connected with a server. For easy understanding, let's note down IP addresses: 192.168.101.100, 192.168.101.1, 192.168.102.1, 192.168.102.100. Now, this is our what? Stateful firewall. Now, this PC will generate a packet. This PC want to communicate with server. So PC will use a dynamic port and it will hit to the server port number 443. First step, PC will generate a packet. First step, PC will generate a packet here. Packet structure will be like this. Source IP will be 192.168.101.100. Destination IP will be 192.168.102.100. Source port will be here 1025. Destination port will be here 443. And in it is first packet of TCP. Then TCP SYN flag will be added in TCP header. This packet will be generated. It will be forwarded to stateful firewall. When stateful firewall will receive it, then stateful firewall will create a database like who is coming. Source IP means 192.168.101.100 is coming. That is going to 192.168.102.100. Source port 1025, destination port 443, and which flag is going? TCP SYN. Such kind of database will be created by the firewall. Then firewall will forward this packet to actual server. When actual server will receive the request, then server will give reply. So server will create a reply packet. That reply packet will contain source IP 192.168.102.100. Destination IP will be destination IP 192.168.101.100. Source port will be here 443. Destination port will be here 1025. In the response of SYN, server will give SYN plus acknowledgement. Such kind of packet will be generated by server. This will come to firewall. Now firewall will check who is coming. 102.100, 102.100. Which port is coming? 443, 443. It is going to where? 101.100, 101.100. At which port number? 1025, 1025. Now you can see here layer 3 information and layer 4 information. Both are matching. What is coming? SYN plus ACK is coming. So SYN plus ACK can only come when we have sent SYN. Yes, we have sent SYN. In the response of SYN flag, then SYN plus ACK packet can come. So it means whatever the packet or reply we are getting, that is matching with our database. If it is matching, then it will be allowed to the client, or reply will go to client. If reply will match with our database, then stateful firewall will allow it. Assume that when the reply packet is coming that is not matching with our database, then what will happen here? To understand it, assume the server is not giving reply. Instead of reply, server is sending a request. When server will send a request, source IP will be server, destination IP will be the client. Source port, because server is the initiator, it will use dynamic port number. It want to access client with RDP 3389, and if this is the request, then request will contain SYN flag. When such kind of packet will go to firewall, firewall will match. What firewall will match? Okay, who is coming? 102, 102, layer 3 match. It is going to where? 101, 101, yes, matching. Okay, what is source IP? 1025, 1025, not matching. It is going where? 3389, 3389, not matching. Previously, reply was matching with our database, but here, now this request is not matching with our database. When request will not match with our database, then what firewall will do? This reply packet will be dropped by a firewall or stateful
Dhaval
firewall.
sir, can you, sorry to interrupt. Can we please go a little slow because I think I don't know about others, but yeah, I'm getting a little bit confused, right? So it would be
Okay.
good if you can go a little slow, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So what I am saying here, that when this server will initiate request instead of reply, that request will contain source IP, destination IP, source port, and destination port. That request will go to firewall. Firewall will match layer 3 information. So layer 3 information will match here, but layer 4 information will not match with our database. When reply or layer 4 information will not match, then what firewall will do? Firewall will drop this packet because it is not matching with our database. This will be done by the firewall. Now, whatever we have learned through diagram, same thing is mentioned here, that when we are talking about stateful firewall maintain the state of connection when packet is traveling through the appliance. Stateful firewall maintain the state of yes.
Uh, can you just explain the in the same example if here it is not stateful firewall, it is a stateless firewall. In that case, what happen?
Then it will not check this information. This kind of database will not be maintained by stateless firewall. Okay. And now this request can also go to inside. Clear?
Okay,
Hmm.
so it means in the stateless firewall, it is directly check if the rule is allowed or like something that then it is directly allowed or deny packet. Is
Normally, what is the main difference between stateful and stateless? That actually we have a client and server. This client is using TCP. So first flag will be SYN. Second will be here SYN plus acknowledgement, and third will be here acknowledgement. Who follow this procedure? This procedure is followed by stateful firewall. But when we talk about stateless doesn't follow this rule. It means if you are using stateful firewall, first packet must be SYN, second must be SYN plus egg, third must be egg. When client and server, they will exchange these messages, then only they can exchange the data with each other. This will be forcefully implemented by stateful. But when we are talking about stateless, in stateless, what you can do? So this, for example, this is an attacker, okay, and instead of either, when it will not get any SYN, what it can send? It can send SYN plus X, that you have sent me what? SYN, and I am giving acknowledgement. Then what client will do here? Client will send what? Acknowledgement. So this task is strictly followed by stateful firewall. When we are talking about stateless don't keep a track of this communication or connection establishment. Clear?
Yes, means stateful firewall follow the TCP handshake process, and in the stateless, it is not necessary to
Yeah,
follow.
not necessary. That means that can't keep a track. If it is
Okay.
not keeping track, then any message can go in or out, or whether you have initiated the request or not. Clear?
Yeah, means we have in the stateful firewall we have database who who can track the packet in and out from each
Yes,
source destination. In stateless we don't have that database.
yes.
Okay,
But
thank you.
remember it, this is only to just understand it. If you will say
Yeah,
that, okay, so in this way, when we are implementing packet filtering, that there can be an attack. Yes, there can be an attack, but not everyone can do. Means you should have expertise to do this. As in real life, we know very well that we have guards. Okay, we have police force, we have armed force here, but still attacks are there. So say same in our field. In security, you can just, what you can do, you can minimize the risk of attack. Means you can deploy security, you can configure password, but still definitely 100% you can't say that you are here secure. Okay, but some type of access lists are also exist which are stateful, but here we are not talking about what means types of ACL. We are going or using the reference of access list only to understand the firewall. We don't want expertise in ACL configuration, but mostly when we are saying stateless firewall or stateless packet filtering, they don't keep a track of this. When they don't keep a track, or when they don't maintain this kind of database, then connection can be initiated from any site. Clear?
yes, I got my answer.
Hmm. So what we were saying here, we are saying that, okay, whatever we have understood through the diagram or with the help of diagram, so stateful firewall maintain the state of connection. Why you can't say that it will not secure layer 4? What I am saying, it is not about security, it is about maintaining the information. Stateful follow the procedure of SYN plus ACK and ACK. It is only for TCP, but this procedure is not for UDP. But in UDP, in that case, port numbers will be used to allow the reply packet. Got it? Hmm. Online, who was asking?
Yeah, just some example of stateless firewall. What are they?
I have already given the first example when we configure access list, that is stateless packet filtering or stateless firewall.
Okay.
Have you not joined the session from beginning, boss?
Yes. I have joined the session. I
Okay,
missed it.
so what I told you, that when we are saying here what? Stateless packet filtering. So stateless packet filtering is done with the help of access list, and access list we create where? On router or on switches. So when we will deploy packet filtering, that will be stateless packet filtering, or that stateless firewall feature will be implemented on router and switch. So Cisco router and Cisco switch with ACL configuration, you can consider that they are stateless firewall. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Now next is same here, stateful firewall. So stateful firewall maintain the state of connection when packet is traveling through the appliance or firewall, as we discussed with the help of diagram, stateful firewall maintains the state of connection in a table that is called state table. After adding information in state table, stateful firewall forwards the packet to actual destination. When stateful firewall receives the reply packet, stateful firewall matches the reply packets with its state table. If reply match packet is accepted, otherwise packet is dropped. So this is our stateful firewall. Now remember it in present time. All vendors, either it is Cisco, Palo Alto, FortiGate, Checkpoint, suppose any firewall. In present time, all vendors' firewalls are stateful firewall. Now, the database which is maintained by stateful firewall, it can be called state table, it can be called connection table, it can be called session table, depending on the vendor. It can contain source IP, destination IP, source port, and destination port. And additional information can also be there, SYN plus ACK, and ACK. So this information will be maintained in state connection or session table. Next, we have here transparent firewall. So what is transparent firewall? First of all, we will understand it with the help of diagram. Diagram is in this way that we have PC1, we have PC2, we have server 1, we have server 2. They are connected with switch, and that switch is connected with router here, switch connected with router. That router can be connected to router 2 via, you can connect two branches via with the help of leased line, with the help of MPLS VPN, you can connect them, or you can also connect two branches via internet. So between two branches, connectivity can be in these format: leased line, MPLS, or internet connection. So what we have deployed here, we have configured or deployed router at the perimeter. At this router, first of all, we will do IP addressing, we will do routing, we will do network address translation, we will configure BGP or MPLS. If we have internet connection here, definitely we will configure IPsec, VPN, etc., etc. So these things we have to configure at a router. Now we want to protect our lane. To protect our lane, we will replace the router with the firewall. When we will replace the router with firewall, so we are using here firewall. At firewall, we need to configure IP addressing, routing, netting. BGP you can configure, but MPLS is not supported. Then you will configure IPsec VPN. After configuring these configuration again, then what you will do, you will configure firewall policies on firewall. Then you can say that we are protected. But question is this: when we have IP addressing here, why to do again IP addressing? When we have configured routing, why to configure a routing? When we have already implemented netting, why to implement net again? Why to configure BGP and VPN again? Now, when we are using here firewall, so we are configuring each and everything again. Then what we are adding here? Firewall policies. Now question is this: is there any way or approach that directly what we deploy here, we deploy firewall policies instead of changing the network? So when we have the requirement, first requirement is this: we want, what is our target? Our target is only firewall policies, but we don't want to change our network, or we don't want to change our network devices configuration because we don't have time. So you can do this, or you can protect your network without changing your network. Then you have to use a solution that is called transparent firewall. That is called transparent firewall. Transparent firewall is deployed between local area network, and it is deployed between local area network and gateway. Now we will break the connectivity between lane and gateway. Now traffic will go through firewall, and at this firewall, what we will do? We will configure firewall policies. So whatever the policies you have configured, according to the policies, traffic will go into out or out to in. So what is the main advantage of transparent firewall? The main motto or aim to deploy transparent firewall is this, that we want only firewall policies to protect our network, but we don't want to change our network configuration. When we don't want to change network configuration, but still we want to protect our network, then we have to use here transparent firewall. So this is our transparent firewall. Now, whatever we have gone through with diagram, same thing is mentioned here. Transparent firewall, it works at layer 2, or it forward the frame based on destination MAC address, but still transparent firewall has capabilities to filter the traffic from layer 2 to layer 7. In other vendors like Palo Alto, this transparent firewall functionality is available with different name. That name is vWire, but in some vendors the same functionality is available with same name like transparent firewall. This layer 2 deployment, all vendors firewall can be configured as layer 2. When we are configuring those firewalls as a layer 2, that is called transparent firewall, or that is also called virtual wire. Clear? What is the main advantage of transparent firewall? Transparent firewall main advantage is this: you can deploy transparent firewall in your network without readdressing the surrounding device, or without redesigning your network, without changing your network, without configuring your device again. Still you can deploy firewall in your network. This is the main advantage of this transparent firewall. If you can change the network, or if you can change the configuration, then you will not use transparent, because some features are not available in transparent firewall, like we can say dynamic routing not supported, VPNs are not supported. Clear? So this was something about transparent firewall. And what is next? So today we have discussed what what is firewall. We have gone through with it. Firewall techniques like packet filtering, proxy server, stateful firewall, transparent firewall. Today we have gone through with them. And now, what is here? Next generation firewall. Next generation firewall. Yesterday, I told you very clearly that next generation firewall is actually sandbox inspection. Any device which has sandbox inspection capability, that is called next generation firewall. And this sandbox inspection is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of Wildfire. So Wildfire is the marketing term of Palo Alto for sandbox inspection. Same here. When we talk about Checkpoint, Checkpoint also do the marketing of your sandbox inspection with the name of Sandblast. So Sandblast and Wildfire, these are actually sandbox inspection technique. Sandblast is available on Checkpoint and Wildfire is available on Palo Alto. Cisco also do the same thing, but Cisco says it is what? Cisco says it is Talos subscription. It is for Checkpoint it is Wildfire subscription. Palo Alto, it is Wildfire subscription. For Checkpoint it is Sandblast subscription, and for Cisco it is Talos. So this sandbox inspection is marketed by different vendors with different name, but actually that is sandbox inspection. And what is sandbox inspection or wildfire? I have already told you yesterday. If you want to revise, you have recording in your course. You can just record. You can revise that. Now, now the slide or notes which I will use here. These notes contain some information, some marketing terms, okay, and some other information which is not relevant for us. So you can bypass that information. So first what we have here, now you can see that this slide is showing the history of Palo Alto Network. Palo Alto was founded by in 2005 by Nirjuk, and Nirjuk work experience is in front of you. He worked in Checkpoint as a principal engineer 1994 to 1999. Then in 2000, he established his own company with the name of OneSecure. So in 2000 to 2002, he was the founder and CTO of OneSecure company who invented world first IPS. Then OneSecure was acquired by NetScreen or Juniper in 2002 to 2005. But in 2005, he left Juniper and he established Palo Alto Network. Clear? So this is the history of the Palo Alto owner. This information may be useful or useless depending on that where you are using it. And in Palo Alto, Nirjuk invented what? App ID. What is App ID? I already told you that with the help of App ID, we can identify the application or session. We can monitor them. We can control them. He also invented what? User ID. With the help of user ID, we can integrate Palo Alto Firewall with Microsoft AD or LDAP server so that we can deploy AD group-based policies on Palo Alto Firewall, as well as he invented Content ID. In Content ID, when we deploy security profiles like antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile, that is counted as a Content ID. Now, uh, here you can see this is the Gartner report of 2018. At that time, there were four leaders in firewall: Palo Alto, FortiGate, and Checkpoint. Cisco was also there, but in presently in this list only there are three leaders: Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. Cisco is out of the race. Cisco is now in challengers. In present time, there are three leaders in the market which are giving firewall solution to the world or world organizations or companies. They are Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. These firewalls provide same set of features. Name can be same or name can be different. In Palo Alto, we have three certifications: PCCSA, PCNSA, and PCNSE. Now we are covering which content? Palo Alto Certified Network Security Engineer content. And here let's start with firewall introduction. We have already covered what is firewall and what are the firewall technologies, but you can also use these documentations for your reference. Okay, firewall. A firewall is a network security system that monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined or predefined rules. Or we can say firewall typically establish a barrier between trusted networks, which is called internal network, or untrusted network, which is called external network or internet. Firewall types are two: network firewall and host-based firewall. What is network firewall? Network firewall, when we are replacing a router with a firewall, that will be network firewall. So network firewall filter traffic between two or more networks, and it run on a network hardware. So this is the example of your network firewall. There is also host-based firewall. Host-based firewall like antivirus softwares which we installed on server or desktop. So host-based firewall run on a host computers and control network traffic which is going in and out from those machines. There are three evolution of firewalls. First is packet filtering, second one is stateful firewall, and third one is application firewalls. Now let's go with first generation. So what is first generation? As we have understand packet filtering more clearly. So first generation means packet filtering, and this packet filter is done by the routers. Packet filter act by inspecting packet transfer between devices. When we have a PC connected with switch, connected with router, router is connected with server. So when PC will send traffic to server, that will go through the router. Then router can do packet filter by inspecting them. When packet is received on a device or received on it, that packet filtering device can take following actions. Router can drop the packet, router can reject the packet, and router can permit the packet. Packet may be filtered based on source and destination IP address, based on protocol numbers, or based on port number. So same thing it is mentioning, but words are differ. What I told you previously, in packet filtering, packets are filtered with the help of access list, and with the help of access list we can filter the traffic from layer 3 to up to layer 7. Got it or not? So same thing it is mentioning, but you can, meaning is same, words you can use different, it is up to you. And what is next firewall technique here? Next firewall technique is here stateful firewall. So what is stateful firewall? I already told you with the help of diagram. When a client will send a packet to stateful firewall will maintain a database, then it will forward the packet to actual destination. When destination will give reply, firewall will match packet with its table. If reply will match, then packet is allowed, otherwise packet will be denied. This stateful firewall will maintain layer 4 and layer 3 information, as well as it will also maintain flag information. So same thing it is saying, what can be different. Second generation in packet filter, stateful firewall can do all the functions that packet filter can do. In addition to this stateful firewall, they maintain knowledge of specific conversation between endpoints. They remember that what they remember. They remember which port numbers to IP addresses are using at layer 4. What I told you, that when they will go, when the packet will go, it will maintain layer 3 and layer 4 information. Same it is saying, it is remembering port numbers and IP address according to OSI model, and as well as stateful firewalls are connection aware. Connection aware means they follow the procedure that first packet must be SYN, second packet must be SYN plus acknowledgement, and third packet must be acknowledgement. If client and server they are following this procedure, only then data exchanges allow, otherwise data exchange is not allow. So this is called here, they are stateful firewall are connection aware. Got it? Next we have here difference between stateful and stateless. As someone asked me previously before break, what is the difference between stateless and stateful? So the main difference is this: stateless, they do not keep track of packet context, or we can say such as nature of the traffic. Means first packet must be SYN, second packet must be SYN plus ACK, third packet must be ACK. So stateless, they do not keep track of this behavior, while stateful firewalls are connection aware or state aware. It means they do keep a track of packet context. Clear? This is the main difference. Rest of the useless. If you want to remember, you can remember notes you have in your course, or you can also get them in hard format your from your relationship manager to whom you are coordinating. Next, we have here third generation firewall. So what is third generation firewall? Third generation firewall is application firewall. The key benefit of application layer filtering or application layer firewall is that it can understand certain applications and protocol, like this is FTP, this is DNS, and this is HTTP. And this application layer firewall is useful because as it is able to detect if unwanted applications or services are attempting to bypass the firewall using disallowed protocol on an allow port. It means this application firewall, what this will do, this according to this application firewall, what they will do, if you will send DNS query and you will add what UDP port number 53, then this firewall will check, okay, what is the application? Application belongs to which one? Application belongs to DNS. Now have a look on the data. Data is here DNS query. Now you can see both things are matching, application and data. They are matching with each other. Header is saying DNS, data is saying it is DNS query. When they are matching, this will be allow. But if a user or attacker will add UDP 53, but that will add what? Torrent data, then firewall will check, okay, application is saying this is DNS, but when we are talking about data, data is not DNS, it is what? It is a torrent. Now you can see application and data, they are not matching with each other. When they are not matching with each other, then what application firewall will do? Application firewall can detect it and application firewall can drop it. So this is the main advantage of your application firewall, that as I show you the example of DNS here, same here, this firewall will check header as well as data of FTP. If header and data, application and data will match, that packet is allowed. Firewall will check application DNS. It will also check data. If data and application belongs to DNS, that will be allowed. Same here. If the application says it is HTTP and data also belongs to HTTP, only then that packet or traffic is allowed. Otherwise, that traffic will not be allowed through the application firewall. Clear? Okay, now what is the difference between stateful firewall and next generation firewall? So if you want to use this definition, you can use it, but I'll say to you that don't go with these too much lines. What you can say, as I told you, what is stateful firewall? In present time, all vendors firewalls are stateful firewall, and they keep a track, or we can say stateful firewalls are those firewalls which remembers layer 3 information and layer 4 information when traffic is going through them, not more than this. But what is next generation firewall? Next generation firewall is that firewall which has a sandbox inspection technique. What I told you today and yesterday, any device which has sandbox inspection capability, that is called, if that is firewall, that will be called next generation firewall. If that is IPS, that will be called next generation IPS. So it, in this way you can remember it, or along with it, what you can define the features which we have discussed yesterday. So these features, all features belongs to next generation firewall. So you can define in this way that next generation firewall can be managed by CLI GUI. that support IPv4 static routing, that support dynamic routing, that also support what? That also supports IPv6 routing. Along with routing, that next generation firewall also support netting, that supports IPsec VPN, and along with IPsec VPN, that next generation firewall also support SSL VPN, that also support transparent firewall features, that also support HA. But these features can also be provided by a normal firewall. But when we say that this is next generation firewall, then we will say that a next generation firewall has capability of decryption, has capability of application control, has capability of content control, that support URL filtering, that support sandbox inspection, that support user ID or user identification along with monitoring and reporting. So you can give the definition of next generation firewall in better way using your content instead of those slides. But I'll not force you that you have to use my words. No, I have to make you understand, and to make you understand, I will use different approaches. So approach selection will be on you. Now, next generation firewall typically function includes the typically function of traditional firewall, such it can do packet filtering, network address translation, it can do stateful inspection as well as VPN support. But this normal next generation firewall can also provide HA, not mentioned here, can also provide decryption, not mentioned here, can also provide here application control, not mentioned here, can also provide URL filtering, not mentioned here, can also support sandbox inspection, not mentioned here, can also provide a policy, a group based policy, or we can say AD integration, not mentioned here. So it is up to you. So it is saying that next generation firewall includes the functions which are provided by traditional firewall: packet filtering, netting, stateful inspection, and VPN support. But this is the useless stuff here, which I think, because it is not talking directly to the point. It is removing the thoughts here and there. The next, it is saying the goal of next generation firewall is include more layer of OSI models. So more layer in OSI model, but we know that there are only 7 layer in OSI model. So what is the meaning of more layers here? It want to say that it add more control. Okay. Next, it is saying it perform deeper inspection. So what do you mean by deeper inspection? Deeper inspection means instead of adding 1, 2, 3, 4 line, so we can also say here that support what? Decryption. Instead of this one, that support decryption, and we can also add another things here. So you can also go through with these line, but I will say that stateful firewalls are those firewalls which remember layer 3 and layer 4 information when traffic will be forwarded through them. But if you will ask me that what is next generation firewall, so next generation firewall is that firewall which contain normal firewall features like routing, IPv4 routing, static routing, dynamic routing, default routing, which provides IPv6 routing, which provides site-to-site VPN, which provides SSL VPN features, which provides transparent firewall features, and HA. So these features can be provided by a normal firewall. But when we are saying next generation firewall can provide these features which I have discussed. Along with it, next generation firewall will provide decryption. With the help of decryption, you can convert encrypted data in plain text format. Then it can also provide you application control. It also provides antivirus, anti-spyware, file blocking, and data filtering profile. It also support URL filtering. Also, it also support sandbox inspection. It also support the AD integration and real-time monitoring and reporting. So normal fire next generation firewall provides normal firewall features and these features. And if any firewall has these features which we have discussed, that is called next generation firewall instead of normal firewall or stateful firewall. Rest of the things are up to you. Everything is in front of you, which I have cleared. Now, what is next? Next is here that firewall to UTM evolutions. Now, why Palo Alto is adding these terms here? Because look here, Palo, Palo Alto was established by which one? Nirjuk. And Nirjuk worked in which organization? Nirjuk worked in Checkpoint. And at that time, Checkpoint had monopoly in which product? Checkpoint had monopoly in which product? UTM product. If, okay, now one solution is provided by Checkpoint, that name is UTM. Now a candidate from Checkpoint quitted Checkpoint and then he started in any company like Palo Alto. Now Palo Alto is also saying that we are also providing you which one? We are also providing you a solution that is called UTM. Now question is this, which company product you will purchase? Palo Alto product you will purchase or Checkpoint product you will purchase? Definitely we will purchase the product of Checkpoint because it at that time it had the monopoly. It was delivering this product since last 5 or 10 years, etc., etc. So we will not purchase that same solution from a newcomers because this company Checkpoint gained trust of the organization in past days. Got it or not? So what this Nirjuk does, this Nirjuk knows very well that if I will launch UTM, no one will trust on me. So a new term was introduced in the market. That term was next generation firewall. But now we have to move the traffic toward next generation firewall. So what to do? Let's do a bad marketing of. Let's do a bad marketing of which product? UTM, so that we can convert the people toward next generation firewall solution. So same effort done by Palo Alto here, that Palo Alto is saying that firewall to UTM evolutions. In past days, we had enterprise network and we had internet. Now the traffic goes from enterprise network to internet through multiple devices. Got it? Now it is saying we use URL filtering server, instance messaging, antivirus, data loss prevention, quality of service device, proxy server, then we use IPS, and then we use firewall. How many devices we use? We use multiple devices to forward the traffic from your enterprise to internet. So when we use multiple device, then Palo Alto is saying, okay, we used here more stuff. More stuff doesn't solve the problem. Another problems, if you are a firewall engineer, firewall helpers have limited view of the traffic. You when the traffic will arrive here, you can only see the traffic, but you have no idea what is happening beyond or before your firewall. And if we have multiple devices, these devices are complex and costly to buy and maintain. If we want to buy them, definitely they will be costly, and to maintain the connectivity or to forward the traffic from multiple devices, it is complex. But what UTM does, in UTM all these features were merged. All these features were merged into a single device, and that device is called UTM. So what is UTM? UTM is a device which can provide you firewall features, IPS features, quality of service, proxy server features, antivirus, data loss prevention, URL filtering, and instance messaging. So these features are provided by a single device. That device is called UTM, Unified Threat Management. So when we put all these solutions in a single box, then what Palo Alto says, putting all these stuff in a same box, then your box or device will goes slow. But it is not 100% true. If you are delivering a product, if you had monopoly in some product or some solution, so you definitely know what are the problems or what are the limitations of your product, and definitely you will work on them. So but here it is not about what are the benefits or features of UTM, but Palo Alto is trying to say when we have multiple device functionality in a same box, then that device will also go slow. This is the meaning of your these slides, as well as this is the meaning of Palo Alto here. Now, next it is saying cyber attack life cycle. How an attack happen in any organization. There are total 7 steps here. I'm not saying that you have to memorize these line by line. It is just to make you understand that how an attack happen. First of all, attacker will do research, attacker will do identification, and attacker will do the selection of target. Means when we want to do an attack, we are not that person who will do attack, but yes, when we are talking about as an attacker, so attacker will definitely do research, they will do identification and selection of the target, that I have to do attack on this organization or on this individual person. After identification selection, what they will do? The attacker will do pairing of remote access malware with exploit into a deliverable payload. That malware will be attached with a deliverable payload. Payload will be encapsulated with either the attacker will use PDF file or Microsoft Office file, and in that file, the attacker will do pairing of malware. Now your weapon is ready, or your malware or we can say virus is ready. Then third step is here, transmission of weapon, whatever the payload we have or attacker has crafted with PDF file or MS Microsoft Office file, that weapon will be transmitted to the to the target via that file can be sent via email attachment. That file can be sent via email, via any website, or if we know the person physically, we can send the file via USB drive. Now that file which is in USB drive or via website or attachment, that will go to the target. When delivery is done, after delivery, when the user or the victim will open the file, the weapons code is triggered, and exploiting vulnerable application or system. Means whenever the weapon with which was designed or crafted by the attacker that was delivered to the targeted system, that will take the advantage of vulnerability which exist in application or system. Now the weapon or virus will install a backdoor application on targeted system, and that can allow persistent or permanent access to the attacker. Outside server communication means attacker will communicate with the weapon, and they that can provide keyboard access. Now attacker works to achieve the objective. Attacker can do here intrusion, attacker can do exfiltration or destruction of data, attacker can steal the information, or attacker can just do intrusion. So these are the 7 steps of any attack life cycle: research, pairing of remote access malware, transmission of data, delivery of weapon, then weapon will install backdoor on targeted system, then outside server will communicate with weapon, then attacker will do intrusion or exfiltration or destruction of data. These are the 7 steps or phases of any attack done by attacker.